Are we ready to meditate with Cory? Climb up into bed. Get completely comfortable. If you need your teddy before we start, or you need your friend that you sleep with, go ahead and get them. And make sure that they're completely comfortable too. I have a story to tell you today, all about a penguin. It's a very special penguin. His name was Charlie. And Charlie, unfortunately, was just a little bit lost. Before I get into the story, make sure that you try and stay as still as you can possibly lay. You can also imagine that you're a penguin with your arms down by your side and you're laying very still as Charlie would stand on the ice. Can you imagine that? Also, you can close your eyes, or you can leave your eyes open and just listen to my story and close them at any time. But if you close your eyes, you might be able to see Charlie in your mind. With your eyes closed, it's easier to use your imagination. But it's completely up to you. Charlie was a funny kind of penguin. He was funny because he thought he was funny. He had these yellow feathers on the top of his head, and he always felt like they didn't belong, like they were kind of messy and all over the place, and they didn't go with his lovely white tummy and his white face and his black back and arms. They just didn't seem to fit. Charlie was lost in a way that he never felt like he belonged every single place he went, and Charlie was a serious traveler. He traveled all over the globe, but he was always unhappy. He always felt like he never was in the right place. He never quite belonged. Have you ever felt like that? Where sometimes you go somewhere and you don't feel like you want to be there and you don't feel like you belong? All you want to do is just go home and be comfortable with your family. That's what Charlie felt like all the time. Before I tell you any more about my story, let's make sure that your body is starting to relax. Focus on your feet just a little bit. Wiggle your toes. Feel your feet, and then use your mind, your powerful mind, and tell your feet it's time to relax. Let your feet get nice and heavy. Let your legs go all jiggly and wiggly and get heavy. Let them just feel very, very heavy and still and sleepy. There we go, very good. Okay, back to Charlie. Charlie traveled all over. He went to Australia one time. didn't feel like he fit. He liked the place. He liked the other penguins. But what was interesting is no one had the crazy yellow feathers just like Charlie did. He stayed there for a while and made some friends, but no. He knew down deep in his tummy, he always got this funny feeling in his tummy. It was like, I'm not quite happy. I don't feel quite right. It's time to move on. And Charlie would move on. He once went to a place called New Zealand. Oh, it was a beautiful place. He liked a lot about New Zealand. But if he was totally honest, there was quite a lot of little blue penguins. They were everywhere. And he wasn't really into little blue penguins. And once again, no one had the golden feathers on top of their head. They were all very nice, but he felt different, and he felt like he just didn't belong. He decided, it's time to move on. I feel it in my tummy. It's time to try and find another place. Can you see why he felt lost? Poor Charlie was just never happy anywhere. Let's take a breath and focus on your body again for a minute. Make sure your back is nice and relaxed and in a very comfortable position. And all your tiny little vertebrae are aligned and comfy. Make sure that your shoulders feel nice and soft and relaxed, and they're not hunched up tight around your shoulders and around your neck. Try and let them just drop and relax into your bed. There you go, good job. Back to Charlie. Charlie even traveled as far as South Africa one time. He wasn't sure about South Africa. There was lots of beautiful things about South Africa, but the penguins there were called jackass, which he thought was hilarious. Jackass penguins? No way, that's not your name. They didn't find Charlie very entertaining, and quite a few of them laughed at his yellow feathers on his head, and he didn't stay in South Africa very long at all. He went to a place very far away from South Africa called the Antarctica, and there he met some decent penguins. There was empire penguins, or should I say emperor penguins. He liked those guys. They all had a very good sense of humor. But again, he got that funny feeling in his tummy, and he knew he didn't belong. Once again, he felt lost. And sometimes when you feel like you don't belong, you kind of get lonely. So sometimes Charlie was a little bit lonely. He was happy most of the time, but when he really thought about it, he just knew there was somewhere out there in the world where he would find a place where he knew he fit, he knew he belonged. So he kept on traveling. One time, I don't know how it happened, but he got caught in the middle of a big mess and ended up in a zoo. And zoos can be very nice places, and zoos can be places where animals that have been injured or hurt get saved, and then they have a home and a place to stay. But sometimes zoos can be quite small. Small is a good word. Sometimes the animals don't get very much space to move around in. And that's what happened with Charlie. Charlie seemed to be stuck in the zoo for a very long time. He didn't really like it at all. Most of the penguins in the zoo were okay about it. Some of them were actually very happy because they didn't have to catch their own fish anymore. They didn't have to do much of anything. But Charlie, he got that feeling in his tummy, and he knew somehow, some way, he had to get out of that place. If you were a penguin and you were stuck in the zoo, how would you escape? Now that's a whole other story. I'll save that for some other time, but I can tell you, Charlie escaped. He moved on. He lived on a very nice rocky island for a while, and the rocky islands are exceptionally good. They're a good place to live if you're a penguin because there isn't that many land predators, and it's kind of safe. They still have danger. But as far as a penguin goes, a rocky island is quite a good place to be. Got that feeling in his tummy. One more time. It's time to move on, he said. Okay, let's focus on your body again just for a minute. Let's see if those arms and those shoulders are actually feeling tired and relaxed. Just imagine the relaxation rolling down over your shoulders, down to your elbows, all the way to the tips of your fingers, so that your arms are very tired and sleepy and completely relaxed. Keeping them still, just like penguins, remember? You're doing very good at listening. Let's get back to our story. Charlie met a group of penguins one time called Humboldt penguins. Humboldt penguins. They lived in the coastal Peru area, and sometimes you could find them in Chile in South America. He liked that place a lot. It had a good energy. All of the penguins were very, very happy there. But you know what I'm gonna say? He got that feeling again in his tummy. And he knew just after a short few months of being in Peru that it was time to move on. And once again, no one in Peru had the crazy yellow feathers on top of their head just like he did, which to him was another sign that this was not the place. Charlie was getting kind of tired. Sometimes he never thought he'd find his home. He never thought he'd find the place that he felt like he belonged. One day, he somehow swam upon an island. An island called Cory Island. He'd found himself back in the Antarctica. He swam out of the ocean and jumped up onto one of the icy rocks. He couldn't believe his eyes. You're never gonna guess what he found. Before I tell you, let's just think about our bodies just a little bit more, and then I'll tell you what he found. For now, just breathe and focus on relaxing your neck and your head. Allow your head to rest and relax deep into your pillow. Your nice, big, fluffy pillow. If you haven't closed your eyes already, close them now. And imagine in your mind, what do you think Charlie found? All he could see, for what felt like miles and miles, was penguins with yellow, golden feathers, crazy feathers on the top of their heads. He opened his beak in complete shock and just seemed to stood there. He stood there, completely frozen. He couldn't move. He was so happy, so happy that his toes tingled. And the tingling sensations went all the way up to the top of his head, and he shivered. He was so happy. He just stared and looked around in complete awe. He couldn't believe his eyes. What is this place? This must be where I actually belong. This is the home, the place I've been looking for years and years. Charlie didn't know how he even started traveling. He can't remember, he was so small. All he knew all his life was traveling. Australia, New Zealand, South Africa, Chile. He went all over, even the zoo. He even ended up in a zoo and still knew it wasn't home. This place. He took a nice deep breath. This place is my home. He started to waddle forward and move around the penguins, and everyone said, "Hi, hi, hi, hi. Hello there, hi. Hi, welcome back. It's been a long time. Hi." Everyone seemed to be like, as if they knew Charlie. He kept looking around, completely dazed, wondering how these penguins kind of knew him. Did they know him? Or was it because he looked just like them? He wasn't quite sure, but he liked it. He felt at home. He was comfortable. He felt safe. He was so happy. His heart was beating so fast. everyone there on the island, just like him, ate fish and squid and krill. He was like, they even like the same fish as me. This is crazy. One penguin said, "Hey dude, how you doing, Royal?" And he said, Royal? My name's Charlie." "No, dude," he said. "You're a royal penguin. That's why you've got your golden crown on your head. We're all royal penguins here, dude. Look around. We're royal, man. Royal." Charlie had like a little giggle inside. That's what my crazy yellow feathers are on the top of my head? They're a crown? I'm actually royal? He couldn't believe it. He found his home, and he found his other people, his other penguins, and he was royal. How cool is that? Make sure that your entire body is ready to fall asleep. Imagine, if you can, with your eyes closed, that you're there on a rocky island, just like Charlie, with a bunch of other penguins that are all your friends. Can you imagine that? A place where you feel completely yourself, completely at home, a place where you belong. And you know, Charlie never ever got that funny feeling in his tummy again. In fact, Charlie met a very nice female penguin called Suzanne. And Charlie ended up having lots of baby penguins. He started his own family with his own Suzanne, and he was very, very happy. From that day on, that very day, he swam up and jumped onto the rocks and saw that he was home. Can you imagine being there with Charlie? Did you know that penguins sleep standing up? And they're very still, just like you are laying down. They relax their shoulders and they relax their little heads down into the chest. They close their eyes and they go fast to sleep. Just like you're falling to sleep right now. Your feet, your legs, everything's sleepy. Your tummy, your chest, your ribs, your lungs, your heart, everything is sleepy. fingertips, your knuckles, your wrists, all heavy, 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 and sleepy. Your eyes feel heavy, so heavy, to the point where it would be very, very difficult to try and open your eyes. Your cheeks and your jaw, all the tiny little muscles in your face, all relax. Allowing your entire body to just melt into your bed. Your bones feel heavy. Your cells, everything in your body is sleepy and ready to go off to dream about being a penguin. Your mind is slowing down. No more thinking.